You can support this show at patreon.com/ASA podcasting.
The wasteland is a host of apocalyptic mess as the sole survivor wanders out about to see the rest. Nuclear explosions sending out the gamma rays from deep within the core, frozen atomic waves. From deep within the core, frozen atomic waves.
Hello and welcome to the 409th edition of the Fallout Feed. I am Andrew, joined by a flock of my favorite Fallout folks tonight. We've got Jess. What's up, Jess?
Hey, Andrew. Greets, everybody.
And Ray. What's going on, Ray?
Hello, hello.
Tonight on the show, we will do our normal sort of setup with the gameplay off the top of the show. I've prepared a quick game for us this evening as well. A Scream list we haven't hit in a little bit. We do have a little bit of Iguanabus to get into this evening as well. And of course, we will wrap up with our community shout-outs. Got lots of scorecations starting to pour in, so we'll make sure to give a nod to all the folks who got into that awesome scorecation, and a couple people floated in from last week as well. People are already getting into it, so let's go ahead and roll into it. Hey, Ray, did you get a chance to play any video games this week?
I did, but oddly enough, none of them were Fallout.
No Fallout. When's the last time you didn't play any Fallout?
Last week?
No, I had played some last week.
Yeah.
Well, the week before, rather. Yeah, it just, we had family in for the weekend, and then we were recording a Skyrim show, so I had to get a bunch of notes together for that. And then on Wednesday, No Man's Sky dropped another update.
I saw that. Congratulations! Right. What's the little devil face mean? What did that actually mean?
So it ended up being Sentinel ships and Sentinel weapons. So they're expanding on the Sentinels. This update was really designed for the people that want more combat.
Yeah.
In the game.
No thanks.
Yeah. So there's a new ship, but you got to do a little fighting to get it. And in order to do that, they gave us some new weapons that are better than any of the ones that we've already got in the game. So been a lot going on. We were going to take the weekend off. And now Baker and I are going to jump in and do a quick episode tomorrow to catch up on all the new stuff. So
do an update.
Yes, an update.
Now, I need to backtrack just a second ago. You said something about getting lots of Skyrim notes prepared. I see your weekly Fallout notes. What's the discrepancy here between your preparation routine of a Skyrim versus a Fallout show? Because I see your Fallout notes here. It takes about 8 seconds to put those in, I would assume.
I had done some work with one of the mods, and so I had a bunch of notes from the mod that I had to write down.
Okay. I was just giving you a hard time.
No problem.
It's like during a roundtable, his notes get a little more expensive too on his side.
Yeah.
They might not make it to our notes though.
Yeah, I do have a lot more notes than I put into the document.
Oh, okay. No, never you mind. You just do you, Ray. So
I can't do anything else.
You're No Man's Sky, been playing a lot in that. You doing the Skyrim stuff. Anything you want to mention specifically?
So yeah, we should have an episode out pretty quick. It was kind of funny. So we started out, we were going to record on Tuesday, and then, well, how about Wednesday? Okay, Wednesday's good. Okay, well then how about Thursday? So we kind of got dragged out, but
Yeah.
The thing that I was working on was some of the more unusual deities that you can worship with the Winter Sun mod.
Oh yeah, I remember you guys talking about that.
Yeah. So I did a couple of the wacky ones this time. So
The wacky deities, those guys, those tricksters. Hey, I've got a Skyrim question, and this might be more directed at Jess. We'll get into it in a minute, but when I get to my gameplay. But I was looking to play a little bit of Skyrim the other day, and I popped in my Skyrim Special Edition disc into my Xbox One X, and it just didn't do anything. And I'm like, well, that's weird. It just doesn't even load. It doesn't. If you load the what's in this disc, it doesn't even read it as it's in the drive or anything. So I was like, I bet you the disc is broken. So I took it all the way upstairs, put it in the old Xbox, and it fired right up and started. Got the title screen and everything. I'm like, well, what the fuck is this? What's going on here? So just a little quick Google searching. I haven't dug into it too much, but it looks like they're preventing me from playing it on the Series X so that I will automatically upgrade to the Anniversary Edition in order to just play Skyrim at all. I can't load in the Special Edition anymore into the Series X. Is that true, Jess? What's happening with that?
I never heard of such a thing. I am very confused about this. Now, maybe it has to do with the fact you have a disc, but that doesn't make sense because you own the game. I know that I have played Skyrim Special Edition SE on my Series X and the Series S, and once Anniversary came out a year and a half ago now, a year and 4 months, I loaded it and started again. It ran fine for me, and then I upgraded to Anniversary, and that ran fine.
Weird.
But I wasn't playing off a disc.
You think the disc might have something to do with that? And
I don't know why
Weird.
it would. I mean, keep in mind, you do have to take and actually install it to run it. You know what I mean? That's one of the things where, you're putting the disc in, but you still have to take from the disc and install, and then it's probably going to download some things.
It was
But I
already
would think
installed.
It would work.
It was already installed, and then I removed the installation. I was going to reinstall it, but it won't even read the disc. It's like there's no disc in the drive. I'm like, what is going on? Because I took it upstairs and checked it, and it worked just fine. So it's not the disc.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I do see people writing about it on Reddit. So I pulled up a couple threads in the Series X and Skyrim forums now, and people are saying, they're having a similar issue on Series X. Restarted the console a few times, tried to start the game. Every time they load in, it says press any button. Once they do, it loads to the game stream and locks up on you.
That is a
until you
load. I
upgrade.
don't even get to the load screen. I can't even read the disc. That's a load of horse shit, man.
That is strange. Yeah, I feel like if you bought the digital, you might be okay, but.
My next question.
Man, those Skyrim horses are really big too.
They are. They load a ton
We
of big
have
poop.
confirmation in chat, Andrew. Catherine in
Yes.
chat says Special Edition won't work on hers either. So, I guess it really is a thing for people. Like I said, I was okay with the digital, but that was, back before Anniversary came out. So
That is some shady business, I think. And my next question is, I've bought Skyrim 7, 8, 12 times now, and I'm, for some reason, out of principle, do not want to pay the $20 yet again for yet a different version of Skyrim, even though everyone's like, oh, it's worth it, it's good, there's lots of extra stuff and fun stuff to get into. It's like just the principle of the matter that I don't want to fucking spend $20 to do this. Does that ever go on sale? Will there be a spring sale where that thing will go down to $5 at some point?
It might, but I kind of doubt it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm going to have to spring $20 for it.
When there's a full Bethesda sale, maybe. It's odd to me because the whole idea with Special Edition was that whether or not you upgraded to Anniversary, you got the 4 pieces of Creation Club DLC, like some of the big ones, the fishing, all that in there, plus enhanced graphics without buying Anniversary Edition. So you might have to update, but you shouldn't have to buy it. I'm just confused about this.
It's just my disk drive won't even read it now. I shouldn't have uninstalled it because I was going to reinstall. I'm going to outsmart it. I'm going to uninstall and reinstall, and that'll fix it. Well, I fixed myself, evidently.
Mm-hmm.
Wah, wah. Ray, was there any other gameplay stuff you wanted to get into?
No, that was about it for me. It was
Right
pretty streamlined.
Jess, you play any Fallout this week?
I did play a little Fallout, although that's not going to be the bulk of my gameplay for sure.
That is
I'm going to
A-okay.
pull a Ray this week.
I played other stuff.
Yeah, it happens. So I did play me some Fallout 76. On Saturday night, we had a special night at the Gato. I don't know if I mentioned it was coming up last week, but we did a special kind of April Fool's episode. So first week of the month, we often do what we call open bar over there, where we check out, we do bars, we do some sparring. It's just kind of an open night where it's kind of like looking at camps, but it's really just an excuse to play and have some fun in friends' camps and have people join us and such.
Is there an existing boxing ring in 76 somewhere?
Pardon?
Is there an existing boxing ring in 76 somewhere in one of the gyms or something?
Well, there's the new Atom Shop one that came up, but no, there isn't any that I can think of existing in the games officially. I mean, the closest you get now is maybe the arena. You have the arena in Watoga for those fights, and you have, of course, the Test Your Metal Dome.
Yeah,
but no, you don't really have a ring per se.
I was just thinking about that one in Fallout 4. I run past it a lot, so.
Yeah, no official cage fight ring there. But so what we did for this special was we decided we wanted to see some bad camps.
Oh, nice.
The theme of it was camps where you load in and you think, man, whoever built this must have been on crack, to be explicit. And we're not saying crack house camps. These are not cracks where people necessarily are smoking crack. These are cracks where the builder probably was doing something. So that was our theme, and we got some people to join and participate. But we also... I went full what not to wear. We decided to look at a lot of random camps too. And oh my gosh, did the servers, they were on our side, Andrew. They gave us so many bad camps to look at for the stream.
Perfect.
So it's funny. We got to be the people who they sometimes accuse me of being on UWN, where I'm all judgy, where I'm so not judgy. I love everything people build and I love seeing what they do at all stages. But for this, I put on my inner what not to wear and I was so judgy. And so was Shreds.
Were you Clinton or Stacy?
Yeah, probably a mix, to be honest. I think I was a little more Clinton than Stacy, though.
My wife, although I begrudgingly at first used to watch that show, I secretly really like that show.
Yeah. It's great. It's something fun about snarking. And so, the only people who actually heard us were our friends. So we got to snark on our friends.
Nice.
But man, it was hilarious. The first server we were on, we stopped by like 5 camps besides, the one we intended to visit. Every single one of them was either floating, underdecorated, really set up badly. And after we were there for a minute or 3, each time they would log off.
Oh, those poor people. I thought people signed up to be destroyed by you, but you're randomly hurting people's feelings. That's awesome.
Well, that's what they did. No, we had people sign up and that was the plan. But yeah, we decided to stop by some randoms, and it made it really fun just because it was really funny. The camps we saw, like there was just something to snark about at all of them. And yeah, not my usual MO, but it was April Fool's. It was a good time. And the fact that as soon as we got there, we'd look around for a minute, we'd joke around a little bit, and then they'd log off. And we're like, wait, was it something we said? You go to the next one.
I didn't even put the April Fool's aspect to it. Well, that's good. Good. Did you guys do that the last 3 years like Spooky Scorched?
No. We'd like to change up our April Fool's jokes, but
yeah. I remember I listened to the show, you guys. Thanks a lot, Clint, for subbing in last week. Great job. But I liked how you guys were like, oh, God, enough with this fucking Spooky Scorch joke again and again. And they get 3 years in a row. Okay, we get it now. That's your April Fool's go-to.
And I mean, I don't mind
If I
it.
had known, Jess, I would have fired up my Xbox and you guys could have gone in and looked at my half-made, half-destroyed Mothman camp.
To be fair, I'm not sure if yours is even recognizable as a camp, Ray. I might not even found it in the first place.
I remember
But
your
no.
camp's being good, Ray. The one up there on the cliff, is that the Mothman one?
No,
You had one that was overlooking the White Spring, sort of, on a cliff.
Yeah,
side?
that was the mega church.
Right.
That was on PC. The one I did on Xbox, I couldn't get anything to place because my joystick control was quite wobbly. So yeah, it's so there's 2 domes that are filled with those pink plants,
Nice.
the big tall tree things.
Mm-hmm.
With lights inside to try to make them look like they're glowing red.
Nice.
Okay. So
And
you
then-
made like Mothman eyes?
Yeah. and then there's just garbage strewn all over the place.
Sounds like my kind of place.
Stuff I tried to. That didn't work. Here, just set that over here. No,
I'll get
that
to
didn't
that
work.
later.
All right, well, I'll set that over here.
We'll get to that at some point.
And then I just quit logging in. So
Yeah, well, that sounds perfect to me. Sorry, Jess, I interrupted. Go ahead.
Oh no, that's awesome. So honestly, that was almost the extent of my Fallout 76 play. Was just Saturday. Sunday I logged in. I did a few dailies. Hooked up with friends and stuff, but still made it that far. I made it to 47 last week on the scoreboard. Right now I'm probably at 50 or 51. So I've just crossed the hump, just over the edge. But I haven't done most of this week's weeklies yet. So I got still a few to do over the weekend.
You mentioned last episode that you logged in with marigolds and went and did the bow builders.
Yeah, I hung out with some bow hunters last Friday. Mm-hmm.
Do you have your character set up as a bow user as well, or you were just running around with them?
I was just hanging with them.
Okay.
Yeah, looking at their camps, seeing how the other half lives, hanging with the cool kids.
Yeah, because I've been tempted to, just especially when you're at the end of the season and you got time to play around. I was going to look into maybe rolling a few random bows, see if I could get anything fun to come up, but. And I would need to seek out the guidance of.
It is a really fun build,
group.
and they would have plenty of guidance for you. They do great. It was really fun hanging out with them and fighting with some bow hunters, because when I play with marigolds anyway, I often run into a few, but this was like a concerted effort. Hey, I'll get in chat with everybody. I'll hang out with the group. I wanted to check out their camps. That's part of it. But yeah, as a summary, for those who aren't familiar with Fallout 76 Bow Hunters, this is a group started by McLevin and Marigolds and a few others last summer. It is a place to discuss the greatest build in Fallout 76. If you have a bow character or just want to know more, welcome home. And then in parentheses, you put not actually the greatest build, but still a lot of fun. Legal addendum.
Is that still bloodied? Does that still come up as the greatest Fallout 76 build?
That's just one version of it. I mean, because bloodied is just an addition to a build. You know what I mean? Yes, you're a bloodied build, but then are you bloodied commando,
Take the
bloodied
weapon into
bow,
consideration.
bloodied big guns.
Hey, I got a question that might be related to bloodied. I noticed just a weird. I was sort of just building a random yard sale style camp, just plopping shit down randomly, and I notice I have sort of like a nuclear waste pile with a few random barrels and stuff, and you can activate it.
I love that.
Is that just so you can irradiate yourself? Because it's not giving me nuclear waste. It's not giving me any junk or anything.
Yes,
when I
it's
activate it.
partly. It's partly for bloodied build. Really, it's just an extra feature on a cool thing. So, it's two items. It's the camp item and it's the fact you can radiate. You can also get radiation from the asteroid if you click on it.
Okay.
And there were just the other rad barrels you can get it from. And then, of course, the radiation arch if you want to go the other way to heal up. So, yeah, that's why people, a lot of times, if they have a bloodied build, they will have those set up. On one end of a hallway, they'll have something to radiate themselves. On the other side, they'll have something to reduce radiation.
Nice. Because I was curious. I just plopped it down. I was like, what? I don't get it. I'm not getting... I was expecting that you activate it and you get nuclear waste in your inventory and your junk, but that wasn't happening. So I was like, this must be specifically for those bloodied folks.
It really does work well for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just a fun side effect, a fun item. But so
It's
that
fun.
was fun, but that was really
skin
all.
falling.
I mean, who doesn't like a little bit of glow to end their day? I mean, it helps you see in the dark.
Oh, gives a shiny glow to your skin.
And there's nothing like a third hand when you're putting together some furniture. You know what I mean?
Beautiful.
So that was all the Fallout. It's funny. I wasn't streaming this past week either. First week of every month off from the stream like I do just to give time to work on other things. It's kind of the plan. But a lot of it, I end up hanging out with other friends while they're on Twitch anyway. Twitch is such a community, kind of like, if you spend a lot of time in a Discord group or in our podcast group or, hanging on Twitch is kind of where you see your friends. So, I'm still on there most nights, at least a little bit, either jumping in with people or just hanging out with friends in their chat while doing other things. So I saw plenty of 76 happening. It was a good week. It was a slow week. Did you guys get that feeling too? It was kind of a slow week in 76.
I haven't really been in much.
Some people wrapping up their scorecation and such. But I did do a lot of gaming this week. So I didn't neglect my gaming. Here's what actually happened.
Ooh.
So I was on vacation. I had Thursday, Friday off last week, and then Saturday, Sunday. Well, Friday after the show, and I may have mentioned on the show, but I think it was immediately after, I reinstalled one of my favorite games, Civilization.
Oh, nice.
Are you familiar with this?
The kid across the hall and at school used to play it, so I'm vaguely aware of the video game. But what I know of Civilization is that my brother and I would bust out our board game at 7 p.m. on New Year's Eve, invite friends over, and play basically until 7 a.m. the next morning.
Right. You had the board game version for a little bit.
I never played the computer game, but I still have it. It's over in my closet over there. I tried to teach Mo to, but it's fucking complicated as hell. So he's not quite ready for it as an 8-year-old. But I do have an extreme appreciation. My ancient history teacher in high school busted it out and taught it to us for the first time, and then I went home for Christmas and asked my mom for it. I was like, we need this game, and then my brother and I played it a lot. So yeah, I really love the board game version, but I'm not very familiar with the computer game version, even though like I see it for sale. There's like 8 versions of it by now or something. So
Well, that's the thing. I mean, it's so fun and in-depth. In a chat, Casey mentioning Axis and Allies, and of course that was awesome. Diplomacy, Risk, like all the classic board game versions before that. But Civilization is a little different. It's essentially you are controlling a civilization from 4000 BC to present and guiding them through the ages as they learn technologies, culture, civilization grows, they build cities. And yes, there can be war, but it's not a real-time strategy. It's turn-based. And it's not straight combative strategy because it's a 4X game, explore, exploit, expand, and I think exterminate. Anyway, however you want to phrase it. So you can win via science, you can win via culture or religion. There's all this. So the first Civ game came out in the early 90s. My first Civ was Civilization 2 Gold in like 96 or 97. I got into it like right out of high school. And oh my gosh, I fell in love with it. So the Civilization series, this is number 6 that is out right now, but there have been spin-offs too. There was one called Colonization, about colonizing the New World. That was way back. There's Alpha Centauri, which is the space one, which is in my top 20 games of all time.
yeah, that sounds great.
I'm really a big fan of the series. So the way I usually do it, like my days of being seriously addicted to Civilization are in the past. But every time a new Civ comes out, I buy it because I have to, and then I play it for 40 or 50 hours, get 2 or 3 serious games, and wait till I get like a victory on king level difficulty or higher, get like the higher difficulties. And then I'm like, okay, I'm good. And then I probably don't play it unless I'm really into it again.
So did 6 just come out then?
No, 6 came out in 2016. And this is exactly what I did with it in 2016-17, was play it like that and get a full thing through on PC. But it wasn't on Xbox. So it came to console at full price a year or 2 ago. And I'm like, no, I'm not paying $60 for it. And to be fair, Civ 6, I felt was a step backwards from 4 and 5. It's more zoomed in. They added some new rules. They made it so you can't do big picture stuff as much. Like it's a little bit more close in and smaller civilizations than really large maps and like charts and spreadsheets and stuff. And I'm kind of into that stuff. But it came to Game Pass a week ago. So now it's on console. Now it's on Game Pass. And your girl says, oh my gosh, I'm on vacation. Why don't I play some Civ? Well, it was just like a new one because there hasn't been a new one in 6 years. So I played about 30, maybe even 40 hours of Civ this past week.
Oh, that's great.
I mean, I did win. I had a culture victory on Prince difficulty, and I'm going to go in and I actually got all the DLC now too. I paid for that despite getting the Game Pass for free because I never played the DLC. And I'm gonna go in and try to do all the other victory conditions and stuff. So yeah, I'm back in. Not only that, I'm here talking to Jerry about it. I'm talking to Solior about it. Talking to a lot of friends, like getting all of these people into Civ with me.
Nice. Can you play against friends? Is it that sort of thing?
You can play online. I never really do, but you can play online. The difficulty with this is that it's a long game, and you have to wait for people to make their turns and such like that. Even if it's asymmetric and basically everyone finishes and then the turn ends and the next one starts, but it can be awkward. So like the more complicated the game gets, the less it really works online. But you can.
I get
But
that.
yeah, so this week was Civ, and that's why I put Bingo Bango Bongo in the notes, because it's about civilization.
Yeah.
So got that. I also watched a lot of Fringe. I had told you guys last week I finished Person of Interest. I did start Fringe like I planned.
Oh, nice.
Man, this really is the continuation of the X-Files. I didn't realize how much of that vibe it had.
I've only seen a couple individual episodes, but all my buddies say I would love it. So I probably need to see it at some point.
Fringe or X-Files?
Actually, both. But
Yep.
Fringe was what I was specifically talking about. But also X-Files. I mean, back when it was on, was that mid 90s? Early? I don't even remember
Yeah,
what that was on.
X-Files was 90s sometime. It was
Yeah.
still on when I was watching, but I didn't see much of it at the time. I only watched X-Files years later.
Yeah. But yeah, same answer, same for both series. I've seen a few individual episodes, and been into what I've seen. Especially Fringe, I thought it had a really cool vibe.
Yep, it does. Getting into it, I was surprised. It's very intense, high production values, and I watched more cheesier sci-fi. Let's be real. I like all kinds of sci-fi, but I enjoy the sillier or more fun stuff. This is very serious, pretty dark, but I'm liking it. I'm probably 7 or 8 episodes in, so I'm going to keep watching for now. My friend who recommended it did not steer me wrong.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so Civilization and that, not enough Fallout. I also did Wasteland Theater Company. We have the production of Alice in Wonderland coming up in just a week and a half now. For those, mark your calendars. Watch live on UWN Sunday. I think it's going to be around 2 in the afternoon, maybe 3. We haven't decided on a time yet, but it should be Sunday, April 16th. Going to be the performance of Alice in Wonderland. And so I'm just the producer and tech. You know what I mean? I'm doing the tech side. They're in there. They've been rehearsing regularly and getting together, deciding all the scene changes. But on my side, I'm getting assets. So I was going through and I'm finding a lot of Alice clip art, like designing scenes and transitions. So I think it's going to look good. I hope. And if you can't watch live, the final version I will put up on YouTube. And, do a final holotape cut that should have all the extras and stuff like that, like music and stuff. But I'm really excited about that. So that's also been my free time.
If someone wants to note when they're going to watch it live, where would they be directed to? Where can they see it live?
Twitch.tv/U Wastelanders. The letter U, Wastelanders.
Beautiful. Check it out, everyone.
Definitely do. And I'll let and also let you know when the video's up as well.
So
But
neat.
that's pretty much my gameplay. It's been a good week. Not enough sleep, Andrew. One more turn. I have seen the sunrise more playing Civilization than normal, for sure.
It reminds me of me discovering SimCity 2000 for the first time.
It's exactly
Oh my
like
God.
that.
Just days of waking up. No, I'm going to go to bed. And then 6 hours later, why are you still playing? Like hating myself by the way I'm treating this game. Just letting it own me. Oh, man. So, yeah. Any other gameplay stuff, Jess? Was that it?
No, that's pretty much it. It's funny. Casey in chat says, the old name change. Yes, for those who didn't know, the name changed from United Wastelanders Network to U Wastelanders, just like the Twitter, back around early January, because that's a lot to type. It was a lot to type, and I take pity on you all, but mostly on myself.
You hated typing it yourself, I see.
I could do it in my sleep. It's almost like typing your name. It's been almost 3 years I've had the channel now. It'll be 3 years in July, so...
Well, for my gameplay, I'm going to get real for just a minute. I know we don't get into personal stuff too often on the show. We usually like to keep it light and airy and about silly Fallout stuff, but I just like to reach out to anyone out there and say I see you who is struggling with anxiety and depression, just because I have been struggling extremely hard for like the first time in my life. I'm battling really, really bad anxiety and depression. I just started medication a few weeks ago, and I can't really tell if it's working yet or not, but my wife was saying when she started taking it, she could feel different almost immediately within a week or so, but I'm still waiting for it to like kick in, and I don't really know. But anyway, it's really a direct relation to I'm searching for a new job, and I have been for the last like 5 months, and I just have had really bad luck out there. So I just am having trouble concentrating on anything that I used to really like to do. Like Fallout 76, I was always playing. Fallout 4, I was playing really hard for the last couple months. But like when I sit down to play games now, I just like turn something on, and then 2 seconds later I turn it off. I put on a different game. I shut that down. I put something else in. I can't play that. I just cannot pay attention to anything right now. It's just my brain is fucking scattered because of this job search is really kind of just destroying me. And everyone who thinks they're being supportive, and I appreciate the support, but they're like, oh, don't worry about it. The right thing will come along. But when you hear that from like just every single fucking person, you're like, will you please just shut the fuck up and say, that sucks, dude. I don't want to hear, oh, it's going to be okay. I just want to hear, that fucking sucks. I'm sorry, and it's so I've been really struggling a lot recently, and I just want to extend out anybody out there who's listening to the show also struggling with anxiety or depression. I feel you and I hear you, and if you ever need to chat about anything, I know what you're going through. But anyway, on that same note, if anyone out there, and I know this is a really long shot, if anyone has a position on the north side of Indianapolis, go ahead and let me know. Or if you happen to work for a company that has 100% remote employment, also give me a heads up, because I am interested in opening up all of my opportunities and meeting new challenges. So enough of that, but that has really prevented me from playing any video games. It was really, I tried to play Skyrim, I couldn't do it, and that pissed me off. I played Shelter for 5 minutes. I played this awesome Batman game that looks totally great, but it's sort of like, I don't know if it's Telltale or whatever, but it's like the story sort of thing, and then you hit like a couple buttons.
Telltale probably.
Yeah, it looks great, but my brain just cannot handle anything. And I was watching Lost and really loving that, but I can't even handle like a whole series anymore. Like I can't watch an episodic TV show. Like my brain just like turns off, and I like don't even see what's happening on the screen. It's really weird. I've never felt anything like this before.
Well, it's good of you to share. I mean, we obviously know you've been dealing with it, and it does suck. No doubt.
Yeah. But what it has let me do is I've reignited my love of movies. Because I can pay attention for an hour and go do something, come back and finish the movie and be done with it. I don't know why it's different than a TV show, than like a 7-season long TV show, but it is different, like a short encapsulated story. I can go in and out and be done with it. But what I have been doing the last week is when I was up in because Clint was on the show last week, I was up in Michigan, and thanks again, Clint. But I was searching through my mother-in-law. She has an extensive DVD collection because she's got the grandkids always come up. So whenever she goes to like yard sales or whatever, she buys a bunch of just used DVDs and just to have movies for all the kids and all the guests to watch. She's got a guest room with entertainment center and all set up. So I was looking through her movie section, and it's all lots of kids movies, but also like lots of happy-go-lucky, feel-good comedies and stuff. But I did see she had a couple of sort of like darker movies. So I popped in The Book of Eli, which I'd never seen before, but I remember the previews when it came out, and I just totally fucking loved it. It's like a post-apocalyptic movie. It's got Denzel Washington in it and Mila Kunis, and I just thought it was really, really entertaining. And it was like fucking depressing and all that, and just really just bleak as fuck and almost black and white because it's so lifeless in the waste. But it is a wasteland story, so it's just like, okay, that felt really good to watch. That sort, and I know it has something to do with like my depression and anxiety. So, but I just really loved the feeling of. I don't know if I loved the movie itself, but the total feel of like
it had the right tone.
Oh god, the tone was perfect. And then I was like, oh man, this reminds me of The Road. I used to love that movie. I wonder if I can see that. So, like I looked up The Road on one of my streaming services and watched that, and that's even more bleak and even more depressing. It was like, oh god, I'm loving this feel. So I was just asking in the group, like, hey guys, what are your favorite post-apocalyptic movies? What are your favorite like apocalypse movies? And so I went to the library and checked out a bunch, and some of them are really enjoyable. I haven't found either any that I like as much as The Road or Book of Eli, but a lot of people in our group sort of suggested some good post-apocalyptic movies. So I've been really enjoying The Downfall of Humanity. It's been great.
A Boy and His Dog.
I actually started that one yesterday, Ray, and that is really actually kind of hilarious. It's
It's classic.
I think it's that guy from Miami Vice is the voice of the dog. What's his name? Don Johnson? Is he the voice of the dog?
He's the live actor.
He's the young guy. Who's the voice of the dog?
Don Rickles.
Don Rickles.
Oh, is
Oh,
it?
yeah,
Okay.
hockey puck. If only. But so I don't know. Children of Men was really enjoyable. Someone suggested The Postman with Kevin Costner, and that fucking was painful to watch. I don't know why.
It's painful, but
Oh my
people do
God.
like it.
People like that
Or
movie.
Waterworld.
Because it's a Kevin Costner movie. That's why.
And I like Kevin Costner, but like, oh,
I'm sure he's a very nice guy.
you don't like him actor. That's hilarious.
Have you tried Waterworld? I have to ask for post-apocalypse Costner.
No one actually suggested that. I totally forgot about that movie. But that movie gets
That's-
fucking. That movie
there's a
gets
reason.
Yeah, it gets ragged on as being like one of the worst movies ever made.
It's
Right?
better than its reputation. It's a bit gonzo at times. I think it's pretty cool, honestly.
Dennis Hopper is the bad guy, if I remember right. Is that correct?
I think so. It's been a while, but
Oh,
yeah.
man. But yeah,
Let me see.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would recommend besides that. Snowpiercer.
I
And,
just watched that today. It was
Oh, did you?
it was crazy, that movie. I was like, that is really weird. It's also not the same tone as, Book of Eli and The Road. Book of Eli and The Road are just like, really
bleak,
dark,
right.
bleak fucking existence. Yeah.
Whereas these are people trying to survive and moving ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like one of my favorite animes of all time. Is a technically a post-apocalypse. Nausicaa and the Valley of the Wind. Favorite anime. It's a Miyazaki film. It was his first big one. And I freaking love Nausicaa. But that's another one where it's got more of a hopeful tone than bleak.
I tried to watch the first Mad Max movie. I couldn't make it past the first like half hour. I was like, this movie sucks. And I know so many people love Mad Max, but I'm thinking, wait, I think it's Road Warrior that everyone actually likes. It's not this first one. I think it's the second one everyone likes.
Yeah. Yep. And then Fury Road, of course, the newest one.
Yeah. And I haven't seen that since it came out. I saw that in the theater, so there's all sorts of post-apocalyptic movies to visit out there. And, there's like the really dark, depressing angles, the horror movie angles, the sci-fi angles. Like right now,
A lot more horror movie angle, I think. I think that's probably the most common, really, isn't it?
I'm about halfway through Interstellar right now, where Matthew McConaughey has to find a new place to live because Earth is being destroyed by dust storms and stuff. So, there's all sorts of different angles you can take with it. But so I've just been really digging into like I said, the fall of humanity. I don't know why. Well, actually, I do know why, and it's really sort of hitting the spot recently. Attention span and just lusting after,
There's a reason why
Dark
sometimes I
feelings.
just listen to nothing but The Cure for days.
I really need to. Yeah, I need to. I was listening to 9 Inch Nails the other day. I was like, I haven't listened to these guys in goddamn forever, and this is really hitting the spot. The Downward Spiral and Pretty Hate Machine. Oh, so good. All right, so that was basically my gameplay. I didn't really do much gameplay at all. I finished the scoreboard on Tuesday as soon as the new everything dropped, the new weeklies. I burned through the dailies and then all the weeklies, and that left me like 2,700 points short. So I was like, fuck it. I'm going to West Tech. I'm eating some cranberry not cobbler, what's the relish. I'm eating some cranberry relish. I'm eating some brain bombs. I'm going into West Tech, and I'm not coming out until I'm fucking done with the scoreboard. And it took a couple hours, but I spun that 10,000K experience points thing like 27 times, and then I was done with the scoreboard on Tuesday, just because I was like, fuck it, I need to be done with this. And then I went back and watched a more depressing movie. And it was a great time. Real fun. But that wraps up my gameplay for this week. Hey, let's before we get into our game, let's get into these iguana bits. You guys have listened to the show. I know this is just going to be me revisiting all the topics you guys talked about last week. But are people actually saddened by E3 and its disappearance, blowing in the wind? Is this a blow to you, Ray? Because I know some people in the gaming community view E3 as like the big communal event where everyone gets together and you chat about stuff after and you have viewing parties and all that. Like, are you saddened by the disappearance of E3, Ray? Because I know you were planning a meetup or something, right?
Yeah, that was, I didn't really care about E3 itself. It was just that, the event that was going to be around it. So
Yeah. And Jess, you're big into
You know I
gaming
love
news
it.
and stuff. You're really into E3, right?
Yeah, I love it. But a significant part of that is the news that came out of it and the conferences that happened ahead of it, And so conferences are still happening in the same time period. It's a little bit loose, but they're still happening. And, the Summer Game Fest is taking its place somewhat. It's covering some of it. It is more spread out. But honestly, I feel like the overall sentiment, looking about how people feel about E3, there's a lot of nostalgia out there and some sadness about the fact that it's probably passing. But because the writing's been on the wall for a good 3 years, people are starting to make their peace already. And a lot of people talking about it, has there really been a great E3 since 2014, 2015 in a lot of ways for people? Because even, I say the writing was on the wall, you could see, people pulling out. When did Nintendo leave? I mean, I feel like Nintendo hasn't been there since 2012 or 2013.
I
And
have no
then,
idea.
EA
Microsoft
pulling
and stuff,
separately.
yeah.
And yeah, so a lot of the big ones were there, but they were pulling away more and more and more ahead. You could see a difference. I mean, E3 back in the day, it was more, even though it became a media event and a chance for people to, get behind the scenes and write their articles and do previews, stuff like that, because it was a media event. It became that. It started like any trade show as a business event. This is when you showed your game to the buyers from various stores, people being like, what are we going to stock? What are we going to sell? How much of this? What kind of deals can we make? Shaking hands like that. So it had to evolve from that. And it already lost some of its identity with how much of a purpose is it serving? What is the actual return on investment for a company to go there? And I think these days it's pretty much nothing. They can easily do their own conference without paying exorbitant booth fees and stuff and do just fine. So yeah, there's some sadness, but it makes sense that it's changing. And like we said, it probably isn't coming back. At least not anything like it was.
And Ray, I know you're still doing Dragon Con and stuff. Did they still limit, is it still half capacity, 2/3 capacity, or is it back to full blown, everyone come on out?
I haven't seen for sure this year, but I would imagine at this point it'd be, full blast.
Back to normal. And now does that mean that attendance will be like what it was before? In the before times?
It's hard to say. It's one of those things. I think it'll probably just build back up to it slowly.
Okay. And Comic-Con and stuff like that, is that still?
I think they are. Well, it's in California, so
Yeah. So they have more restrictions than Georgia would.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. So let's go ahead and
Iguana bits.
Yeah, let's roll into iguana bits here.
So I've got a few things in here in the news. Now, not much happened necessarily in the world of Fallout. Like I said, it was a little bit slower of a week. The challenges move on. People are, getting their score done. People are hitting their scorecation. I talked last week about how the Fallout account on Twitter and elsewhere have been more active that past week, and that has continued this last week. So it's always good to see that. I mean, they try to stay engaged with the community on some level all the time. But sometimes it retreats to just, it used to be just the forums, and these days it sometimes retreats to just Discord and here and there. But yeah, they've been really active and spent all this last week sharing photos, retweeting people, resharing stuff. Camp creations, fantastic camp creation this month, by the way. The theme was bakery, and they shared this microwave. Did either of you guys see this one by Duke Deskro?
I saw the microwave. That was funny. Yeah.
It's so good. It's funny. It reminds me of the Easy Bake Oven that Swift Kick in the Junk did a year or two ago. But the purpose of that was to it was a trap to bake the people who came in. This right here is just a full microwave. It looks so great with a clown inside and stuff like that. But yeah, so they've continued to be active there. Fallout Shelter. Yeah, this is another thing that we mentioned last October. Shelter had been neglected, if you don't mind my saying, for 4 years. It would occasionally get sales, and that was it.
Yep.
Like after the first 2 years of Shelter, 3 years of Shelter, it stopped getting content, and it was a good 4 or 5 years. And then last October, it started getting requests again. We got stuff in October.
Aliens,
we got stuff,
right?
Yeah. And then we got in November, there was a new turkey quest and outfits and actually adding things. So you get a character, you get a small quest line. They're doing stuff for Easter. They're doing a special Easter quest line again, Springtime for Adam quest line. So once again, they are really doing stuff in the game. And I don't it's really neat to see them revitalizing an old part of the Fallout franchise, and an older, an older entry in the series. So it does make you wonder, speculation still, is that mobile game they're working on? They haven't really talked about much. Yeah, they just did the Mighty Doom mobile, but that, I feel like Bethesda Game Studios has one in them too. And is it going to be Fallout Online or Fallout Shelter 2? I mean, who knows?
I really wanted to play Fallout Online for long, or the Shelter Online. I mean, for a while.
Such a long time, and they are phasing that out. We talked about that, about how some people, they've been having trouble lately. They might be changing the license. Some people are losing their characters and such. So, yeah, I don't know how much longer that's going to be supported. And it was made by a different company anyway.
And last episode, you were saying that the increased activity generally means they're feeling something out because they're about to release something new, right? That's your theory there?
That's my theory.
So what's coming up?
Talking about with Shelter and the mobile stuff?
Well, just they're posting more often and stuff, and you say in the past when they post more often, they're generally feeling people out because they're about to release something new. So I was just going to say, what do you think is happening?
Yeah, I really felt like last week, like I said, that it's essentially because the actual roadmap is coming and stuff, that they'll have, a bigger boost for whatever's coming on the roadmap. They'll be able to announce some stuff, not just a single thing, but like the updates for the year, what we can expect, and then have things to talk about going forward.
Nice.
Because we know we'll have an update, later this month, and then we have an update in June, and I'm expecting the update in June will actually have a significant amount of content, but we don't know. We don't know yet, but they gave it a title. They called it Once in a Blue Moon. I feel like that means something.
We're going to space.
That would be great. They don't title things unless there's actual content to it. You know what I mean? A lot of times it's, update 48, update 49, but when they give it a title, that means there's actual content.
Yeah, I get that. Mm-hmm. Good theory, at least.
Yeah, exactly. It's all a theory. Speculation is fun. Got nothing else to go on for news, but yeah. I hopefully soon. We'll see. But speaking of actual news, here is something that was being passed around last week. There were reports of players being banned from Fallout 76 if they were playing it on Steam Deck. This is starting to become a big thing. It does run on Steam Deck. People have been excited about that. A number of players saying, wait, we got banned. So there were threads on Reddit and here and there that people getting banned for playing on Steam Deck. That is not the case. Here's the official Bethesda statement. They just made this morning, actually. We have conducted a thorough investigation into the cause of the bans and can assure you that players do not need to worry about their accounts being falsely flagged. Due to our terms of service that protect the privacy of our players, we cannot disclose specific actions taken that raise the flags on those who were banned in our system, or the details of each account. But we want to be very clear, this is not something players need to be concerned about falsely triggering in their playtime. To give some context, only around 50 players raised this flag in our system. Just playing Fallout 76 on your Steam Deck alone will not cause any issues. I hope this eases any concerns you may have, end quote.
Huh, that's very cryptic. So now it makes me curious what those people got flagged for. Something
got flagged, and they did say that there were specific actions taken that raised the flags, and it does say falsely flagged. So, most likely whatever actions were taken that caused this might not have even necessarily warranted a ban, but they can't talk about what it was or what it is right now. And who knows, maybe it actually is terms of service breaking. But if you heard the rumors, do not worry.
All right.
In the world of rumors, there was a really, really exciting one this week too. So, some people watched watch a lot of sources to try to get Fallout news. Okay. Kind of, the analogy I would use is kind of like, a market reporter actually watches stuff in the stock market that aren't apparent to regular people, or a court reporter. Yes, this info is public in that they have to file stuff legally, but no one notices it. And that's why court reporters are there watching these ledgers and charters and stuff like that to let you know what's happening. So some people focused on Bethesda stuff or other game company stuff, watch things like the Steam database. And the SteamDB is essentially where the loose files that are part of the updates, patches, stuff like that are located in the SteamDB, like the registered files. Well, on was it Wednesday? I think it was Wednesday. I'll have to go back and check.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, there was noticed that there were a number of files added to the SteamDB under the heading New Vegas 2.
What?
Yes, New Vegas 2 added depot file 377161. And then, going through like a bunch of files listed as New Vegas 2. Okay, interesting. So the last time there was a group of files added, they were listed as beta 2. Now, we think that the beta 2 and a lot of things flagged with the 2 are files for testing the new update coming. The next gen update for Fallout 4?
Oh,
But
okay.
don't know specifically. So anyway, people who don't know what the depot is, like I said, it's a file store for things that are used in updates and patches for a specific game file. This is an update store for Fallout 4 specifically. So not just random, not under something labeled New Vegas, but this is in the Fallout 4 change list, something labeled New Vegas 2. Well, that was added. What was that? So that was the April 5th. Yes, that was Wednesday. And that was earlier. And it's funny, Juicehead had a tweet about it. Fallout 4 got a new depot entry titled New Vegas 2 on SteamDB. Almost certainly next gen update and BGS trolling, which makes it hilarious. Well, that was how Wednesday started. How Wednesday ended at about mid-afternoon on Wednesday, Juicehead, New Vegas 2 has been canceled. Because in the SteamDB, in the database, every single New Vegas 2 file, the new depot files were removed.
So what's up with that?
Well, more speculation. Isn't this great? This is speculation week. So obviously there's not a New Vegas 2 that has been, created and then canceled within a day. But it could be a couple of things. So one of the primary speculations was that this has to do with, the next gen update, with the way it was titled with 2. And maybe someone was just being funny, labeling them New Vegas 2 or this or that. My personal speculation is that while it might be next gen update related, it's not necessarily about the update, but rather Creation Club content.
Okay.
The reason I say that is because we know that with the next gen update, there will not only be upgraded graphics and a few other things, but they are going to include, like with Anniversary Edition, some unreleased Creation Club content because they stopped releasing new Creation Club stuff in like 2019. And it was still being made for quite some time. So we know that there's some that has never been released that will come out with this. And you know how for a while, a couple of modders that I like who now work for Bethesda, The Fried Turkey and HCX Grill, they were working on Capital Wasteland Project and then Project Mojave, which you loaded and played, right, Ray?
Yeah, I did.
And so they were working on that stuff for a while, creating assets and such for it. And when those were released for Project Mojave, rolling it out, it was a slow rollout. They released the assets little by little, but they were working on it for a while without releasing anything. And it occurs to me that maybe they were at the same time working on a possible creation, because we know the creations and Creation Club are done by modders with a good reputation who have worked with Bethesda regularly. And both these people now actually work for, technically, Double 11 on 76, but they technically work, for Double 11 on Bethesda games officially now. So what if they were working on some New Vegas related items or Creation Club pack or adventure, kind of like we got with the Capital Wasteland Mercenaries, the Eleonora, and I think Fading Signal, a couple of people worked on, where we got to go work with Three Dog. Do you remember that?
Yep. Yeah, you played that.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. That's my thought, is that maybe it is something, a Creation Club item related to New Vegas assets or content or a special mission or something. That's my thought. Other things it could be. Maybe they are testing something and maybe there is something for New Vegas in the works, or maybe it was just a troll. I mean, those are...
Somebody got mad that they didn't get to use their New Vegas 2 April's Fool joke, and so they slipped it into the file names on all these files and released it on Wednesday.
There's the thing about April Fool's jokes, and some people might not realize, but they only work on April Fools. Otherwise, they're just mean. And even then, they can be mean.
Yeah.
There was...
Not as mean as not getting to use your joke.
Okay, fair. Did you see the one going around with the... it was from Bethesda.net, and they did it like an Inside the Vault update, which was essentially talking about Fallout 76 being wrapped up and canceled as of October. That they were going to, wind it down and sunset it in this October. Did either of you see that?
No.
No.
I was...
Thankfully, I I had way too many other things to do than to be on
Real life
on the
things.
internet over the weekend. So
Yeah, I tried to avoid April Fools a bit on the internet, that's for sure. But yeah, so this one around, it looked just like an Inside the Vault post. You know, you got the nice little tan background, the same font, everything. And I saw it on a number of Facebook groups. I saw it on Instagram, and it wasn't funny. I mean, everyone who read it at first, like, had it. It was done well enough that for the first couple sentences, I was like, "What is this? Is this real?" And a lot of people felt the same. Some people actually fell for it all the way through because it was written well. But that wasn't funny the day of, but at least, understood it. I saw someone posting this in another Discord earlier today. And I'm like, really? And people like, oh my God, no. It's like, dude, it's not April Fool's anymore. You don't share this.
Quit spreading the fear.
That was awful. But yeah, April Fool's. One of my favorite holidays if it's done with fun with friends, but people can take it too far.
Yep,
So,
absolutely.
additional news. Let's see. This is more community stuff, but do you feel like your computer runs Fallout 76 too well? Are you not struggling to get 60 FPS? Well, fear not. You too can struggle. Just like even if you're 4090, you can struggle like anybody because there's now a 150 gigabyte texture pack out for Fallout 76 textures.
Ouch.
All 4K textures, 156 gigabyte. This is twice the size of the Fallout 76 install just for textures. They put it up on the Nexus. So yeah, I do not understand these kind of texture packs, but if you want it, it's there. Ray, would you ever install such a thing?
no.
There have been some other big ones. Like the next biggest one I saw was like a 40 gig texture pack, and I considered installing that on my new PC. I kind of want to try it, but I'll just do like the 2K version. I mean, I don't even run the game in 4K. Why do I need 4K textures?
Yeah, I enjoy a nice crisp, beautiful looking scene, but I value gameplay far more.
Mm-hmm.
When I pull the trigger, I expect that sucker to shoot.
Yeah.
And when I, dodge to the side, I better move.
I prefer frame rate over resolution too. You know what I mean? I love good graphics, great resolution, this and that. And for photos specifically, sure, it's okay if it gets a little sluggish. But when I'm playing, I would prefer high frame rate. We've been playing long enough that over 30 is fine for most of us. You know what I mean? It's not like we are these people who need 60. Or actually, speak for myself. How do you feel about 60 these days? Do you need it?
I mean, I do strive for it.
Yeah, it's a good goal. I kind of feel the same. But there are people who are like, I can't play if it's less than 60 now. And there are people who are starting to say that about 120 hertz.
Yeah.
And no, I'm okay if it's over 30. And I love how smooth 60 is. It's great. But
yeah, I play a lot of really old games. So, and by that I mean, Fallout 4.
Yeah.
And Skyrim,
yeah. Or
right.
Fallout 1.
Skyrim. So yeah, no, no.
So 150 gig texture pack. I just thought to let you guys know it's out there. There is a 2K version supposedly that is less, but I am not installing this. I am, however, I think I'm going to try installing the 40K one or the 40 gig one because I mean, it's no longer the dumbest. So I'll just do the second dumbest and see how that runs.
Good stuff.
Looking ahead on the calendar, kind of just to wrap up Iguana Bits, it is currently, I don't even know what day it is, April 7th. Okay, you guys, there's nothing exciting happening. You got Legendary Vendor and Double Mutations weekend happening. Double Mutations again next weekend. Mothman Equinox in 2 weeks. So we are 2 weeks away from the Mothman Equinox. That is the next big thing on the calendar, unless there's some kind of surprise, which, hey, there may be. You never know.
Are data miners finding any new items in that loot pool?
Not really. We got a number of new items, back when the update launched 5 weeks ago. And, there's some cool stuff coming for sure. We've already seen some of it. Like, I would say right now, the items coming to the item shop, you know how it's been lately. The item shop has just had so much, and it's going to keep on having so much. And next scoreboard looks like it'll be fun. I'm psyched. But yeah, nothing new yet.
I just dropped 5,000 atoms earlier today on the dinosaur and the board and the cute bed and the Easter bundle and this and that and the other. I just cleaned myself out.
It does look good. I haven't logged into 76 since Tuesday, so I haven't seen the new stuff. But I know it's in there. Obviously I saw the Atomic Shop preview.
There's a rabbit in a cage, you guys.
Yes, they did a bunny. They did a bunny now. So we've got caged owl, caged rabbit, caged chicken. It's just, they heard we wanted pets and they said, fine, but you got to have them in cages.
Yeah, they're going to be in a jail cell in the corner of your camp, but you'll have them.
This Helvetia camp kit this week looks so good too. I don't know if you saw it, Andrew, but the colors, it's got like this cool kind of eggshell teal blue, and the pillars on the porch are kind of a reddish. So it's a nice like faded red, blue colonial vibe. Really like it.
Yeah, I picked that up, and it's got a display case with it and the caged rabbit and such. It's very nice.
It's super cute. Yeah. Oh, if you got the rabbit bundle, you got the princess bed then too. If you didn't have that, you must have had that though, didn't you?
No, I actually didn't have that yet. So I made sure to pick that up, and so cleaned out my atoms. I finished up the scoreboard and then cashed in all the atoms that I earned.
That is awesome. Pretty princess bed. Yeah. On our show account on Twitter, we shared the Rad Cats. Rad Cats are a group over on PlayStation Now, who they've been doing the Atomic Shop update really regularly on Tuesday. So we are retweeting them most of the time. I always pick somebody, and lately it's been them. But I'm just in shock right now because I'm looking at the current atom count on this picture. I didn't notice when I shared earlier, but they have 44,000 atoms, Andrew.
Clint said he was in the 5 digits with his atoms, and I was like, what? It's like, I don't even know how people do that.
If you're not spending them, they build up. And I mean, the cheapest way to buy them is, I guess, 100 at once, but $100 worth at once or something. But geez, my goodness. So that pretty much does it for the bits, unless y'all have something.
All right. No, I'm good. Ray, you got any news? I don't keep my ear to the ground like Jess does.
Yeah, there was a big No Man's Sky update.
Yeah, little devil face. What was the little devil face about?
Yeah, Interceptor it was called, right? Was that the name of it?
Probably. I don't remember.
It's a cool name, whatever
It's
it was.
so hard to keep track of them. I mean, they're
There's
just
so many
specifics.
I mean, the last one was 6 weeks ago.
Oh, here's something from
quick.
Clint, by the way. He mentioned in chat earlier that if you saw all the kill bunnies and collect Mothman eggs on the challenges today, it's because it's Easter themed for the weekend. So expect more Easter themed challenges on the scoreboard.
Yeah, lots of egg collection and such. Yeah,
Kill bunnies
doubt.
for Easter.
kill them. All right, are you guys ready to play a game?
No, but what time is it?
What time is it? Game time!
All right, for this week's game, I put together just a quick scream at your phone list, and then we're calling it platforms. I was just perusing the wiki today about Fallout, just looking for game ideas, and I happened to see that there are 14 different platforms on which you can play a Fallout game. And I was just going to ask you guys to tell me those 14 platforms on which Fallout games can be played. So we'll start with Ray, then we'll bounce back to Jess, and we'll just go back and forth. I want you guys to quick fire back at me the 14 platforms on which any Fallout game can be played. Ray.
Kitchen table.
Oh, come on. But
That is a
yes,
platform.
The Fallout board game.
Yes, technically, but come on, we're talking about the video games here.
What? You didn't say video
I
games.
did not. You are correct. I'll
Everybody's
let
a
it
joker.
slide.
Chat saying desk right now. Yeah.
On my table, on my desk. All right, Ray, what do you got? What do you got here?
Okay. So let's go with PC.
The PC. We have
All of them.
Okay, well then I'll kill 2 of them here. We've got DOS and Microsoft Windows. I'll give you both of those, Ray. Jess, back to
Okay.
you.
Okay, so we're talking operating system. Interesting. Well, then I'll say you can play a Fallout game on the Xbox 360.
The Xbox 360, absolutely. Ray, back to you.
You can play it on the Xbox One.
On the Xbox One, yes you can, Ray. Jess, back to you.
Why, Andrew, I believe you can play it on the Xbox series of consoles.
The Series X and Series S, absolutely. Ray, back to you.
The Fallout games you can play on PlayStation.
On PlayStation, give me a number.
Say 3?
Oh, that's right. There's more than one, huh?
There's a bunch of PlayStations now.
Okay, I'll go with PlayStation 5.
And they have a much better naming system than Xbox does. Jess, back to you.
Okay, I want to get it wrong on principle after that last comment. We'll go with PlayStation 3.
PlayStation 3 also correct. Ray, back to you.
Let's see, 3, 5. PlayStation 4.
4, absolutely. Jess, back to you.
Can't believe I snorted. Also, they do have a better naming system. You're not wrong. I mean, it's not
so-
as cool
so
as
much-
ours, but
Cool. Just confusing AF.
well, I'm going to say you can play Fallout Shelter on your Android mobile device.
On your Android, absolutely. Good answer, Jess. Ray, back to you.
On your Apple mobile device.
iOS, yes. Jess, back to you.
How many are left, Andrew? Because I
One,
think I'm
two,
feeling like we
three,
exhausted them.
4 more I've got here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes.
Okay. You can play it on your Macintosh.
On your Macintosh and Mac OS X, yes. Ray, back to you. Got 1, 2, 3 left.
You can play it on your Steam Deck.
I do not have that one on there, but yes, you can play it on Steam Deck. Do you have another guess?
Okay. Yeah, so my other guess would have been the Nintendo Switch.
Nintendo Switch, yes. Good job. I was expecting you guys to forget that one. Jess, back to you.
Because you can play Shelter on the Switch, right?
Right.
Okay. I know it's just a free firing here. I might be running out of systems. So we've got all the modern Xboxes and PlayStations. We've got the Switches. I don't think you can play Shelter on a Wii U. Let's see. Can you play on any other actual computer? So we've got PC, we've got Mac.
One.
It wouldn't
how
have
many
been
two?
Amiga or
Just
anything.
2 left here, right? Yeah, just 2.
Can you play it on the PlayStation Portable, PSP?
No.
I might be out then.
Ray, have a guess?
Oh, they've got a good one in chat. Sorry.
Well, I know it's not the Echo.
I don't even know what that is.
How about the Ouya?
Um, Nope, got nothing more.
So I can tell you what chat said.
Yes, what
They
does chat
mentioned
think?
VR, that you can play Fallout 4 VR.
Oh, come on.
Do you have that as a separate platform?
No, that's
Because
not a
technically
separate
it's PC.
platform. Yeah, it's a PC.
Okay, and
Jess,
then you
did you have any
also,
other
how about
guesses?
Linux? How about Linux?
No, come on.
Didn't think
Linux
so.
isn't real.
Yeah, I got nothing. Linux isn't real. I've been trying to tell people this for years.
That's yeah. Tell that to people that have a Steam Deck.
I'm just mad at my friend who made me record one album on our Linux setup, and now I can never access that album ever again. We got 2 more here. Anybody have any final guesses? Chat, any guesses or anything?
Pen and paper.
Chat
Pen,
right now, they're
paper,
coming in.
there
Let me
we
tell
go.
you everything they're giving us, okay?
what do they
First of all,
got?
I want to say you can play it on the Roundtable here at the Fallout Feed on
Yes,
ASA
of course,
Podcasting.
of course.
But yeah, we've got Atari ST, we've got Notepad, we've got the NVIDIA GeForce, we've got what else are they saying? Linux with DOS, TurboGrafx 16 says PC.
I wish.
Bonk plays Fallout. That's all I got.
Bonk and Slaughterhouse. Well, I can't confirm this through my own personal play, but evidently the PlayStation 2 you could also play a Fallout game on.
Really?
And according to the wiki, the original Xbox as well. What game would you play?
Oh, yes. Okay, because we're looking at Brotherhood of Steel. That is so.
Yeah.
You guys know that obviously there's Fallout 1, 2, and then Tactics, but there was Brotherhood of Steel. And that was actually designed for console. And I feel so dumb for getting it. But yeah, that's what you could play on those. Absolutely.
That's our 14, so thank you guys for playing this edition of Scream at Your Phone. Woo! All right. We just got a few shout-outs on our way out the door tonight. So I believe we've got some scorecation lists. But first and foremost, if anyone knows our good buddy Meowface Killer, I just need to extend a well wish out to her and a speedy recovery. She went through something recently. So we'll just like to remind her that our thoughts are with her, and hopefully she's recovering well and doing okay.
Yeah, been through a lot.
Yeah, no kidding. So let's go ahead and list off our scorecations. We need to, first and foremost, last week, the curator chimed in with his scorecation last week.
Scorecation!
And also our good buddy Alex.
Scorecation!
And who else we got this week?
I didn't have Mo on tap, so that's why we had to shout them out again.
That's quite all right.
You had to bring the Mo for them properly. Now, I don't know if Randy is in chat right now, but Randy was at 99 this morning and said, I'm going to get it by tonight.
Yeah, attaboy,
So-
Randy.
Scorecation!
So I bet he did. But here we go. We've got Andrew,
Scorecation!
That's me.
Branananandon.
Brenanda Nandon.
Scorecation!
He got it on both Xbox and PC.
Oh,
so
give me another
congrats.
one. He gets another one then.
Double scorecation. We've got Archon on PC.
Scorecation!
Good job, Archon.
Coming in on Tuesday, we got Nana Janet.
Nana.
Scorecation!
Our good friend Eric.
Attaboy, Toxic.
Scorecation!
And I think that is it.
All right. Just another one for the whole group. Congratulations, everybody. Enjoy it.
Scorecation!
All right, you guys. Thanks so much. Is there anything else, Jess and Ray, you'd like to mention before we sign off for the evening? All right, and in that case, you can find him over there for all your No Man's Sky needs at BBCISSS and at RayLB. Ray, thanks so much.
Good times.
You can find her at You Wastelanders and at Dames Who Game. Also, at Sleep is for Tea. Jess, thank you.
He's just trying to beat our speed record from last week, y'all. But I hope you have a fantastic week.
I can be found at Indie Android, and the show is at the Fallout Feed. I'd like to thank everyone for downloading this edition of the Fallout Feed, and we'll see you in the Wasteland.
Thank you for downloading this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. If you are interested in doing a play-along character with us, the show can be contacted by emailing falloutroundtable@gmail.com. For the Roundtable schedule, our Amazon link, and all other show information, please head on over to asapodcasting.com, where you will find the Fallout Feed, a Skyrimatic podcast, our YouTube channel, the Chatterbox, as well as other content. Once again, thank you for downloading, and we'll see you in the Wasteland.
I can go in and out.
The hump.